somebody, just watching. This is going to be my last video I do this year, which is going to be, this is my 2021 review, which is a yearly thing I do. Sorry if I do sound like I've got a cold. I actually do have a bit of a cold, a bit of a snuffly nose, and I'm quite tired as well. I've not got COVID. I've actually done a test this morning, and that came back negative. So I don't have COVID. You don't have to worry about that. But I'm not 100%. But I'm still able to do a video. So let's go ahead and do it, and we'll start off with coronavirus for this year. So last year I started off talking about the coronavirus, which is what we'll talk about now. So the coronavirus, it has been a bad thing still, and we're still in lockdown at some point this year. I think it was around Easter time of this year, but it's not been as bad as it was last year, because you are getting the vaccines now, and there are boosters and things to have. It's still not a very good thing, but it's still better than it was last year. It's nice to see that the coronavirus is improving, but it's still not a very good thing. But I like that there's vaccinations and boosters for it now. So if you do get it, you don't get it as bad, or you might not even get it at all. I don't really know too much about it, but it's definitely something that you definitely should have if you've not had your vaccinations yet. But now we'll talk about these celebrity deaths. I want to talk about just negative things first, then we'll talk about the happier things after that. There's been quite a lot of celebrities that sadly passed away this year. The one that got to me the most was one of the members of the Monkees, Michael Nesmith, sadly passed away. There's only one member of the Monkees left, and the Monkees is one of my favourite bands, and it was just quite sad to see that one of the members was gone, and there's only one remaining now. So rest in peace to you, Michael Nesmith. You are a brilliant musician. You are one of the best musicians in my opinion, and it's quite sad that he's sadly not with us anymore. But there's been quite a lot of actors and musicians that aren't with us anymore. So, but that's going to happen, I guess. I mean, the older these celebrities get, the more likely they're going to sadly just pass away. But that's really all I'm going to say for that. Rest in peace to all the people that we have sadly lost. That's really all I'm going to say here. Unfortunately, it's going to happen at some point. People are going to pass away at some point. That's just a way of life. But that's really all the sad parts out of the way now. We're now going to be talking about the movies I've seen this year. Let's go ahead and do that now. So for the movies I've seen in total, drum roll please. And I've seen 25 films this year. 25. I can't remember how many films I saw last year, but it definitely wasn't 25. It was a lot less than that. But 25, I mean, and that's with having 3 months of not going to cinema. The first 3 months of this year, I didn't go. So if I did go for the first 3 months, my dad was thinking it'd probably be about 35 films I've seen this year. But 25 is still amazing. I think this is one of my first years for a while that not actually rewatched a film. I think last year was the same though, that I didn't rewatch any film in the cinema. I only saw them once and that was it. But now we're going to be talking about some of the retro films I've seen this year, the films that didn't come out in the cinema, that have been out for many years now. And I've seen films such as The Shawshank Redemption. It's a masterpiece, one of my favourite films ever made. Castaway, another excellent film with my favourite actor Tom Hanks. Speaking of Tom Hanks, in a film called The Terminal, a very amazing film. And Warrior, another amazing film, and a very underrated film as well. So now I'll move on to my top 5 films of this year, 2021. So we'll get to it now. So my number 5 is Free Guy, which I give an 8.5 out of 10. If you're a fan of video games, definitely watch that film. And my number 4 is A Quiet Place Part 2. I'm not a fan of horror, but I still absolutely love this film. 8.5 out of 10 for me. Highly recommend to watch if you're a fan of the first, Quiet Place. And my number 3 is West Side Story. I was not expecting anything that amazing from this. I thought it was amazing. 9 out of 10 for me. One of my favourite musicals from the scene. I'm not really a musical fan, but if you are a musical fan and you are a fan of the original West Side Story, I'd highly recommend to watch this. And it's from my favourite movie director of all time, Steven Spielberg. My number 2 is The Suicide Squad, an amazing superhero film, my favourite film in the DC Extended Universe. As of right now, one of my favourite DC films. 9 out of 10, absolutely amazing. would recommend it to any superhero fans. And number 1 is Spider-Man No Way Home, which is my latest one I've done a review on. 9 out of 10, one of my favourite superhero films, and just had an absolute blast watching it. Would recommend it to Spider-Man and superhero lovers alike. And that's really all I'm going to say for my top 5 favourite films. Overall, it's been a pretty great year for films. It's not been like an amazing year for films, but there actually have been quite a few films I did really enjoy this year. In fact, I think most of these I did enjoy. I've not reviewed all these films yet, so I'll go ahead and look at the email my mum sent me of all the films I've watched, because she put it on her notes. I've not done a review for Encanto yet, nor Ghostbusters Afterlife. I've not also done one for Clifford the Big Red Dog either. I've got a plan for my reviews for next year. I won't go ahead and talk about it now. That'll be in a separate video. But now we'll talk about the TV side of things for this year in 2021. So in terms of TV, I watched lots of Disney Plus Marvel shows, being WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, and my personal favourite, Hawkeye, which Hawkeye and What If, I'll be doing reviews for them next year. Looking forward to doing that. Not really too much else to really say about TV. I watch a lot of TV shows that have been out for a few years. Was The Mandalorian Season 2 this year? I'm not sure if it was this year or last year, but it might be this year, The Mandalorian Season 2. But whatever year it was, I absolutely loved watching that. It's just, time has gone really weird this year. Some of the things seem like ages ago, and some of the things feel like it was only a few days ago. I also watched The Beatles Get Back this year. Absolutely amazing show. One of my favourite shows. Would highly recommend it if you're a Beatles fan, and it's available on Disney Plus. It might be available on more things, but at the moment it's available on Disney Plus. Going to be doing a review for that next year, and I cannot wait for that. So overall, I think it's been a very great year for TV shows. I do think it was a better year for movies and video games, and we'll go ahead and talk about video games in a sec, but I have enjoyed watching TV shows this year. The Beatles and the MCU shows, and possibly The Mandalorian Season 2 this year. I can't remember.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Oh god, well actually, I might go ahead and check when The Mandalorian Season 2 was released, whether it was this year or last year, because it's actually getting on my nerves, and I want to know whether it was this year or last year. I think I got confused because it came out last year, but I watched it this year. That's probably why I was a bit confused about it, but in case you're wondering what that noise was, I was wondering what it was as well. I've got my watch on me, you might not be able to see it, but I've got my watch on me, and that's the noise, that's what it was making, that's the noise it was making. I'm not too sure why it was doing that. I think it must have accidentally pressed something, but The Mandalorian Season 2 did come out last year, but I watched it this year. That's probably why I got confused, but also time's just been really weird this year. But that's enough talking about TV shows now. Now I'll go ahead and talk about video games, which are my top 5 favourite video games of this year. Unfortunately, I don't know how many video games I played this year. I don't think I played too many, but when number 5 is Kena, Bridge of Spirits, one of my first indie games I've ever played. In fact, it might be my first one. That's why I'm keeping it. I just absolutely love the game. I will be doing a review for that at some point. I'd rate that one 8.5 out of 10. Number 4, Life is Strange True Colors, one of my favourite Decision games and my favourite Life is Strange game. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. I recommend it to Decision game and Life is Strange lovers. Number 3 is another game I've not done a review for yet, which I'm looking forward to doing that. It'll be one of my favourite reviews I've done, I think, and that'll be for Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. An excellent video game recommended to superhero and Guardians of the Galaxy fans. Number 2, in case didn't say that, that's 9 out of 10, but I think I might have mentioned that. And when number 2 is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Excellent game, 9 out of 10, maybe 9.5. It was in my top 10 games of all time at one point. Absolutely love it, recommend it to platforming and Ratchet and Clank fans. And number 1 is It Takes Two. Recommend that to co-op fans and for people who like Joseph Ferris and his games, his Haze-like games. This is just absolutely incredible. One of my favourite video games, very close to being a masterpiece. That's pretty much all I'm going to say for video games. A great year for video games, I have to say. I'm not sure if it's been a better year for movies than video games, or video games than movies. Still not 100% sure on that, but it has still been, in my opinion, a very great year for video games. So we'll talk about the music I listened to this year. It's been one of my favourite years in terms of listening to music. I listened to a lot of 60s and 70s music, such as the Beatles and their solo careers, being the solo careers for Ringo Starr, George Harrison, Paul McCartney, and John Lennon. I've also listened to Bob Dylan, Roy Orbison, ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, Tom Petty, Neil Diamond, and Carole King. So basically all the members of the Travelling Wilburys. I absolutely love the Travelling Wilburys. We'll be doing a video on that with them event. So I'll be doing my top 10 favourite Travelling Wilburys songs at some point. But the members are Jeff Lynne, the lead singer of Electric Light Orchestra. You've also got, or brackets, ELO, whatever you want to call them. You've also got Tom Petty, George Harrison, one of the members of the Beatles. You've also got Bob Dylan, and Roy Orbison, who's got my favourite vocals of all time. So, an amazing super group. If you're not listened to them, I highly recommend to do so. There are still so many other incredible bands and albums I've listened to this year. It's probably been my favourite year in terms of music. Absolutely love what I've been listening to this year. And I discovered my favourite song of all time, Imagine by John Lennon. I've already heard of it, I just wasn't sure if it was my favourite song of all time. But at the moment, it is. So it was also the 50th anniversary for the All Things Must Pass album. It was supposed to come out last year, which was the 50th anniversary, but it came out this year. Outstanding album. And also the Imagine Dragons Mercury Act 1 album came out this year. A very great Imagine Dragons album. Not my favourite from theirs, but still really enjoyed it and I'd recommend it if you're a fan of Imagine Dragons. And I recommend to try to listen to all these bands and artists that I've mentioned. I've also been to some vinyl fairs this year, first time I've ever done them. And it's also where I got a first pressing of Highway 61 Revisited, which is the 1965 Bob Dylan album. I've also got a first pressing of the Graceland Bob Dylan album, and not Bob Dylan album, Paul Simon album from Simon and Garfunkel. Been listening to a lot of them this year as well. And the Carole King music album, which I got for my dad for Christmas. Still not 100% sure whether it is the first pressing, but I think it might be. And the first pressing of the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds, which I'm not listening to yet, but looking forward to listening to that one. So when I'll talk about the YouTube side of things for this year. So for YouTube, I'm subscribed to a lot of music channels and many more YouTubers. But the one that stood out to me the most is Mike from DigiZ. That Mike, if you're watching this, shout out to you, mate, and peace and love to you. You've helped a lot with this channel. You've left some amazing feedback, and I've been watching a lot of your videos as well. They're absolutely incredible. I've linked his channel in the description below. He does movie reviews and vlogs, and he talks to directors of films, and he's just such an incredible guy. Go and give him some love and subscribe to him. His channel is linked in the description below. But I watch quite a lot of YouTube. I've actually got a bit stressed because I've actually got quite a lot of videos to watch. But I guess time will tell. We'll get through all of them eventually. But that's what we're all going to say for YouTube. And I also got to 80 subscribers, which will talk about my channel side of things now. So I've got 80 subscribers. I've added music in my videos again. And I've also made sure that the comments are allowed in all my videos. I've made sure I've trimmed my videos, used screen recording. I've even made thumbnails, done all that stuff this year. Can't believe this year I've done that all. I feel like this year might be my best year on YouTube. I just feel like I've done a lot of better changes. I'm looking forward to seeing what next year is going to be as well. That's really all I'm going to say about my channel. But thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Let's see what 2022 brings for this channel. I'm really looking forward to it. But now we'll talk about the year 2021 as a whole. So overall, 2021, definitely better than last year. Is it been a great year? No, but I feel like it has been a great year when it comes to movies, video games, music, all those fun stuff. But there's been quite a lot of people that sadly passed away. A lot of celebrities that have. The coronavirus is still a thing. So it's not a great year, but it's definitely better than it was last year. I'm not going to make a mistake of rating the year, because that was a mistake I did last year. That's not going to be something I'm going to do every year when I do a yearly 2021 review. But you can let me know what 2021's been like for you in the comment section below. What's been your favourite films, TV shows, video games, music you've listened to, all of that stuff. You can let me know in the comment section below. But that's really all I'm going to say here. looking forward to next year, see what my channel's got in store for next year. Hopefully we get to 100 subscribers. We'll just have to wait and see. But a new year, and hopefully it'll be a better year, and hopefully the coronavirus will be no more. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. And also, have a happy new year, and thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, as that helps out the channel a ton. Now looking forward to next year for my channel. So this is me saying farewell to 2021. Goodbye 2021, and hello to 2022. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace and love. Until next time, guys. Ciao. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? And ciao.